Tonight today, more like right here, right now at 9:35 in the morning. Hello, everybody, Chuck this 1000 and Polyvichity, welcoming you to a new playthrough of a game that I personally like playing called Cel Damage. A game that might not have actually received good selling basements or something, but yeah, kind of many things I can honestly say at the very least about this game. There are intro movies about what you just saw there tonight at 8, but it's not really the case. We've also got basically intro movies based on the characters you get to play as in the game. We have got Violet.
We're doing your interview. Didn't you get the memo?
Flip off or die, Chucklehead.
Violet, what do you like most about Starry and Cel Damage?
I'll show you.
Yeah. There's BT Bruno.
Done, BLT, without the lettuce. A man-sized servant. You won't forget us. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, ever since I was a kid, just like my hero, the king.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you for coming. We'll call you.
I can dance too if you want.
Oh, God, no. That's okay. We've seen enough. Thank you.
Wait, I can do one more thing. I have an 18,000-pound truck that can crush anything.
Why didn't you say so? You're hired.
Yeah. We got Cinder.
Effective immediately. Your employment with us is terminated, Cinder. You're just, well, costing us too much in damages. Clean out your chaos pit and be our last. Yeah, may I help you? Whoa, you're perfect. You're hired.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most weirdest interview ever. We've also got Dominique, Foulmouth, and Fleming here. I'm not really going to go over too much of them, but it kind of shows you a brief twist of how these characters first came into the game to begin with. You can actually play free option, but if you go into options, view progress, you can actually do story mode. This is actually something that's actually kind of interesting to say the least. You actually do have these characters that you can play as. You can choose any one of them that you want, and actually, if you beat every single stage that is highlighted with the X's and question marks, and yes, I do mean beat every single one as every single character, you get to see a clip of their finale. But of course, there are these 4 characters over here. We have no idea what their names are, and they actually don't have a finale or even an introduction of how they were first introduced into the game. But you're noticing on the top of the screen where you see locked, it's showing you the characters' weapons. And yeah, in case you're wondering, you cannot by all means play as these characters until you have actually done all of 6 of these guys first. I will actually go over everything in key facts about what these guys do, because the way how this game is fixated, each and every character can use a certain weapon. As you can see here, we got a hammer over there. But the character I'm going to be using for this is obviously Cinder. And we have 3 different styles that we can basically do. But by default, we are forced to start with Smash Attack. With Smash Attack, the following rules imply. You have to be the first to score 500 points to win. Races, you have to be the first to complete 20 checkpoints, which are those pole gates that you can see that's flashing on the screen. And the final one, Flag Rally. The way you actually win this game is simply by grabbing 4 flags and taking them to a checkpoint pole to win. You can either drive into the pole, but ideally you want to drive into the circle. That's the way how you want to do it. And in case you're wondering, this game was first introduced in... it was first released for the Xbox, which is the game that I'm playing it on, in 14th of November 2001, and then was later released for the GameCube on 7th of January 2002. In North America respectively, though. In Europe, the game was launched for both consoles on 3rd of May 2002. So yeah, I honestly thought that Cel Damage was only in the United Kingdom, but apparently it's also in America. So if you Americans are actually watching this, you can actually play this game at any given time, but I do not know how much it will be selling for right here, right now, solely because of the fact that, well, this game is, let's say, ancient. But anyway, let us go into Wild Woolly West for the first Smash Attack. And believe me, it's going to be introducing today's contestants every time. That guy over there that we saw just, Whack Angus. He's specialized in the Wild West areas. And then you got the remaining 6 characters, as usual. And your character only shows up last. Now, here we go. So, the basically controls. R trigger is to, well, move. L trigger is to go into reverse. When you have a weapon, you can press the A button to actually use them. My first weapon here is an axe. You get to swing it as many times as you like, but you only have 3 usage of that move to actually get rid of your opponent. The amount of points you get is also fixated on what kind of weapon you use. Some weapons can actually score you better points than others. And of course, it is impossible to actually try and do a playthrough of this without dying at least once. And this weapon here is a revolver. You have to continuously hit your opponent with the bullets you're shooting out of the gun. If you can do it successfully, you can actually get a kill on them. Unfortunately though, it's not an easy weapon to use. But this exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is fixated on your special weapon. Your special weapon can be used as many times as possible, but it does have a limited usage. Cinders is this grinder. Anybody who goes into it will have their car be completely and utterly shredded. Whack Angus is, who he used to kill me on a couple of occasions. That is basically like meat cleavers. The meat cleavers are basically thrown like a boomerang, so they do eventually come back. Fleming's that you saw right there is basically like a thermal gun. It's basically like the revolver gun, except If you take many hits, you can actually be engulfed in flames. When you actually do get engulfed in flames, if you drive into anybody, you do have a chance to pass the flame onto them. There is a chance that you can actually get points for doing it, but if it doesn't work, then it probably might be like you're giving the person bonus points for setting a flame on somebody else, even though they didn't even, well, hit them. Violet's special that we didn't really get to see, but you did see her get to use it at least one time. Oh, drove into a train there, not really good idea. Is a rocket launcher. When she has a rocket launcher, you press the A button, it shoots a missile, and you can actually kill somebody from a great distance. It's actually a pretty good weapon. Only problem is, you have to have the weapon hit them directly on the head or very close beside them. It's kind of a hard weapon to use. BT Bruno's special is a hammer. It doesn't actually hurt, as in like kill anyone, but what it does is it flattens your opponent and makes them unable to move for a short period of time. And they do like a little backflip as a way of recovering. So just give a heads up on that. Dominique trying to shoot me with the revolver there. Foul Mouths. His special is basically like a revolver, but it's actually a much worse revolver. It's basically like those guns that mobsters use in those old films, where you have one hand holding onto the handle that's underneath the gun, and the other hand holding onto another handle. Oh, that's actually a Violet special, by the way. So yeah, it's basically like a two-handed gun, because it's got a handle underneath one, like where the bullets come out of, and another handle where you hold it normally in order to make it sturdy to actually for you to hold it. Only problem is, they're actually really good guns for mobsters to use. The only problem is, in the game, it basically goes left and right, then left and right, and it doesn't focus on going in one particular direction like the revolver does. It always goes left, right, repeatedly, in a continuous amount of bullets. Oh, that's Dominic's special right there. Basically, Dominic's special is she shoots dynamite. I can't think of how to actually describe this one. It's a crossbow that shoots dynamite. When you get hit by that dynamite, you're basically a walking time bomb that's basically there to slow you down if they hit you on the tire. Yeah, if you get hit on the tire, there's no way that you can basically move. But you can actually sacrifice yourself to actually let the explosion kill somebody else. Only problem is, I don't think you get given points for doing it. And I think that's every single person's special that I can actually mention this given time. Because I think I mentioned Violet, I mentioned BT Bruno's, Foul Mouths, Whack Angers, Fleming, Dominic, and also mine. There are, of course, the other three characters that we haven't seen yet. But that will come in due time. Oh, by the way, something else I should really point out. I'm 5 points away from actually winning this, but 179 points ahead. If you're not in first place, any of these characters, you will actually see a star with that character's face on it, flashing repeatedly to indicate who is actually in the lead. To put that up on the Xbox, you have to press the black button. The white button, though, is interesting. Yeah.
Anyone want to hang out in the dumpster?
Yeah, I'm just going to point out the mechanic here. You can press the Y button to taunt, throw and eject. Now, to be honest, when it says throw or eject, there's no constant layout with it. But this, I actually pressed the back button to show this. But yeah, the white button does nothing. I know, it's actually silly. The white button actually doesn't do anything. And in case you're wondering about throw or eject, these pellets, they are not effective at all. They're basically there to stun your opponent, but only for a short period of time. And if you do actually hit them, you only score 1 point for doing it. Well, that just looks like I got killed by the axe, and then Cindy's just like, no, I won, I need to keep my car alive. No, don't separate me from my car. It kind of looks like that. I'm sorry, that just looks brilliant. But yeah, when you actually win a mission, you basically get to unlock arenas later on. And also, since I've won my first one, I've basically unlocked Gate Relay Event, and I've unlocked the weapon of Axe, Chain Gun, which I called it Revolver, but you kind of get a picture. Oh wow, Whack Anger's got last! And that's actually surprising for me, because the reason why is because Whack Angers usually is second place every single time I play this game in all the areas you get to play against him as. But yeah, that's basically the whole gist. I'm unfortunately do not have every single weapon unlocked, because this is basically like a new playthrough, because I did delete all my profiles of this game. So that way I didn't, like, you know, go too overboard with explaining stuff in the first episode, because it's not really fun when you do that. But anyway, in the next episode, we're going to Swamp Stomp to be introduced to this character. And then we probably, if we have enough time also, we may be introduced to the blue column to see this character and the purple column to see this character. Either way, we will be doing that in the next episode. See you guys then.